Well, hello and welcome to another Happy Paws Sunday afternoon chat. Thank you so much for joining us for our third week. I am so delighted that my guest today is Nicky Campbell, and we're going to be joined later on by her two beautiful fur babies, Hollie and Sam. But before I start that, I just want to remind everyone why we've started these Sunday chats is to support our Happy Paws Legacy Anniversary Appeal, which we launched 3 weeks ago. We've got a really ambitious target of £20,000, and we really, really, really need your donations. And if you'd like to support us, the link to our Just Giving page will be in the description box below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. That's what everybody says on YouTube, I believe. So now I've started to say it. So hello, Nikki, and welcome.
Hi, Dominique. Thank you so much for inviting me to chat with you.
Oh, I'm so delighted to have you. Now, I started off with Gareth and Paul last week asking them where they were in Britain. So, where are you in this lovely country?
I am in sunny Greater Manchester.
Well, fantastic. That's amazing. Because we adopt dogs to UK families, and I never know exactly where they are
Mhm.
in Britain. So that's lovely to know because I'm in London. And we just always presume everyone's in London. That's what we do. So how long have you been a Happy Paws mummy, Nikki?
Gosh, well, we adopted our first Happy Paws baby in 2017. Her name was Sophie, and she came from Cyprus. So she was not one of the first Happy Paws at all, but she was quite early on in those days. But yeah, she came from Cyprus in May of 2017, and sadly we lost her in June 2020. So, but yeah, she was my first Happy Paws baby.
And then did you adopt again?
Yes, I did. So, very soon after losing Sophie, I was in touch with Lisa. She was incredibly supportive during that time. She was wonderful. And I knew almost straight away that I had this big hole in my heart and in our lives that needed filling. So, I had a good chat with Lisa, and before I knew it, she sent me some photographs and videos of Hollie, who they had rescued out in Turkey. And yeah, we agreed to adopt Hollie. So that was in sort of July time of 2020, and she travelled over in the September of 2020. So yeah, she
That
joined
would
us
have been
then.
that would have been during the COVID years.
It was during the COVID years, yes. So there were a few obstacles along the way, but yeah, she got here eventually.
Oh, I can totally understand. We had our first Happy Paws baby in 2018, and we lost Jake last year. And it didn't take me long before I contacted Lisa and said, I need to have another
Yeah.
fur baby who's just there, fast asleep, stressed out, as you can see. Because once you've had one, I think you really miss it when it's not in your life. They're such wonderful dogs.
Very much so, yeah. And I do understand people when they lose any animal, and they say never again. I can't do that. I appreciate that. I understand that. For me, I was desperate to sort of. You're never replacing them. You're never replacing them. But I had so much love to give, and yeah, it was. And in fact, it helped with the healing process very much. So I was able to channel my attentions, and especially because it was during one of the lockdowns, um, we had all this time, on our hands. So Polly very much helped to heal a broken heart. So yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. I wanted to ask you how the first few weeks, either with Sophie or I'm presuming with Holly, what are
Yeah.
those first few weeks like when you first get your rescue dog and you're all of a sudden you have this dog and you don't
Yeah.
really know their past, but what are those first few weeks like?
I think what's important to remember is that every time you adopt a dog, those first few weeks, days, months are completely different with every dog. So when Holly came to us, she was very different in personality to Sophie. Still wonderful, but just very different. And it did take Holly a little while to settle. And when I say settle, she was happy. She was happy. But from whatever had gone on in her past, and we don't know the full ins and outs of it, she She didn't play with toys, and she didn't particularly enjoy affection. Um, it was as if she wasn't quite sure how to be a dog.
Oh,
Um, and but she wasn't sad and she wasn't frightened. She just was maybe a little bit detached from the situation. And I have said this to many people over the years. I think sometimes when you see stories of rescue dogs and people will say, oh, it's like they've always been here, straight away they were on the couch and they were settled. And not every dog is going to be like that. And it did take Holly a little while to settle. But she got there eventually. And I think it was a learning curve for us as much as for her, that we had to go at her pace and give
yeah,
her
so
that time and that space to just figure out what this new life was all about.
and when did you know? When did you know that there's been a change and you could see the settling in coming?
It was tiny moments of things. So as I say, she didn't play with toys. I'd bought all these new toys, and she wasn't interested in them. And then one day, I picked up a £1 ball in Tesco's. It was just a squeaky ball, just cost £1, and I brought it home and I squeaked it for her. And she had a few other squeaky toys, but this particular ball I squeaked, and for the first time, this playfulness came out of her. And she went to paw at the ball and she gave a little gentle growl. And at that moment, I suddenly saw Holly's true personality, that there was this playful side inside of her. And then in the first few times when I would call her and she would come to me. She hadn't done that initially. She almost didn't want to be too close. And then she would look to me for reassurance in certain situations. So there are all these tiny little moments where I think, yeah, she knows she's okay. She knows she's safe with us. And gradually, then her personality was able to come out more and more.
Can you remember how long that process took?
Honestly, I would say probably about a year
Oh,
before we
wow.
really.
Yeah.
My husband and I would often say to each other, do you think she's really come out of her shell now? Do we think there's more to come? And as the months went by, we were like, I think there's still more. I think there's more to come. And as she experienced new things and got to meet more people and meet more dogs, every experience she had was just new for her, and this personality just kept coming out. But I would probably say about a year before she really felt like this is home. But
Oh,
that's not to say every dog takes that long. I think,
no, every dog is different. I would say Jake, our first one, settled within 3 months.
Mhm,
He knew he was home. I think Layla's going to take a little bit longer than that. She's
mhm.
70% there.
Yeah.
But it's 3 months now.
Mhm.
And I can feel that there is so much more about Layla that I don't know yet.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to that. She doesn't play with toys either, by the way. She's just got them in her bed and she just cuddles them. She doesn't understand
Yeah.
what a toy is. Now, I believe it wasn't too much later that you got another Happy Paws
Yes.
baby.
So when we were looking to adopt after losing Sophie, we had toyed with the idea of having two. We quite liked the idea for them to have, a friend, and but then the thought of, oh, how can I manage all those muddy paws? I can't, I'm sure I can.
The hair.
With the hair, double the hair, and so we were a little bit unsure. And then when Holly came up, we thought, well, we'll get Holly, and then we were waiting for Holly to travel, and Lisa had posted on the Happy Paws Facebook page that they just found this boy, Sam, on the streets, and he was living under a picnic bench somewhere, and he was a mess. He was dirty and skinny, and I don't know. There was something about him, and I just looked at him and thought, "That's my boy."
You
And I
just
had a
knew. You
conversation.
just knew.
I had a conversation with Paul, my husband, and he was a little bit more cautious. He sort of said, "Well, let's hang on. Let's get Holly first." And I'll be quite honest with you. I contacted Lisa and I said, "I know Holly's due to arrive in September. Just wondered if you had any more information about Sam." And yeah, she sent me photographs and videos, and I said, "He's my boy. I'd like to adopt him as well." So she said, well, he's not going to be able to travel until the new year, till January, February. I said, that's perfect because we can get Hollie settled. And then, yeah, so then we've put everything in place to adopt Sam. And then I just happened to mention it to my husband over dinner that night. No,
He's coming.
yeah. So there was just, I don't know, there was just something about him in the photographs. I looked at him and thought, that's my boy. So yeah, so he travelled over. It was the following February of 2021 when Sam travelled over.
So there was about
6 months.
6 months from Hollie arriving and then
Yeah.
Sam arrived. How was it when all of a sudden you had to blend two rescue dogs together?
Yeah, well, we took some advice from a dog sitter friend of ours who's looked after Sophie and now looks after these two when we go on holiday. And we asked her for advice about bringing two strange dogs together. And we looked online and got advice as well. And one of the main things a lot of people said was to introduce them on neutral ground.
Yes.
So the day that Sam travelled, Hollie stayed with our dog sitter and we drove up with Sam and we introduced them at a local playing fields near to our house. And I'll be quite honest, the minute we sort of brought them together, there was a little growl and we thought, oh, okay. But our dog walker was brilliant and she gave us a bit of advice, you know, how to sort of get them to sniff each other and, you know, just sort of meet each other. And then we walked them home. We walked them back to our house together. And we just kind of left them. We sort of, you know, carried on with our evening, started making dinner and they had a little sniff of each other. And then that night we all were in the lounge together and they started to have a really gentle game of bitey face, really, really gentle. It was as if they were testing each other's boundaries and seeing, you know, how far they could push it. And from that moment on, they have been the best of friends.
From that first night?
From that first night,
That's amazing.
Yeah, there's never been any, this isn't to say that this is always the case, but for me personally, that they've never fallen out. There's never been a fight. They play fight all the time. They don't fight over toys or food or beds or anything. Hollie and Sam are like yin and yang. They are complete opposites. And whether that is what makes them so compatible, I'm not sure, because Hollie is calm and slightly reserved, watches from the sidelines. Sam is in the middle of everything. He's boisterous, he's playful, you know, and whether they just balance each other out. Yeah, but we were very lucky. They blended really well.
You just chose the right boy to come, didn't you?
Yes, I think so.
You really did. Now we talked about them long enough. Are they there? Can we meet them?
You certainly can. If I hear this opening. Hollie, Sam, come on this way. I'm going to spin this round and then we can get them round this side. Come on.
Hello.
Hollie, come on. This way. So this is Sam. So whether you can see him yet. Come here,
yes,
Sam.
we can see Sam. He looks like he's concentrating on something though.
He is, yes. So this is Sam.
Oh, hello, Sam.
And I'm going to spin this round here. Hollie, come on. Come on. She's a bit tired to be for a walk today. And
there we go. Hello, gorgeous.
So yeah.
They look so alike as well.
Do you know, it's funny, when they first came, they were quite different. And I feel like whether it's the same diet, same environment, they have sort of merged into each other a little bit. And they are very, very similar these days in colour. He's always been a little bit darker, but yeah, a lot of people say to me now they are very, very similar.
Yeah, they're true goldens.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the nose. Hello, beautiful. Now it's a perfect shot because we just have Sam's nose. That's perfect. That's absolutely amazing. So, Nikki, if you had to give one piece of advice to anyone who was thinking about adopting a rescue dog, what would that be?
Patience. Yeah, have patience with them. Go at their pace. Understand that a rescue dog can be complex. And I think don't have any expectations of them. I think when Holly came to us, Sophie that we'd lost was very playful, very loving, very affectionate. And when Holly came and she wasn't necessarily those things, I thought, is it me? Am I giving off something? And it's just about having patience and giving them the time. And if you do that, the rewards you reap will be endless, because the joy that these two bring me is just beyond words. They are just wonderful, wonderful dogs. And people say to me, gosh, aren't they lucky to have found? And I say, no, I feel like the lucky one, because they just bring me so much joy every day. But yeah, just have patience with the dogs. And as I say, they'll bring you so much happiness. They really will.
Oh, I totally agree. And I guess my final question is, why did you choose Happy Paws? What was it about Happy Paws that attracted you, a charity that adopts dogs internationally? What was that?
Well, I'd grown up with a golden retriever, so I was quite familiar with retrievers, and just happened to stumble across them online across the charity. So yeah, I had a chat with Lisa on the phone, and she was clearly so passionate about this charity, and she's very much hands-on. She's at ground level. She's on the front line of this, and she really took the time to understand who we were and what our lives were like, and what we were able to offer a rescue dog. And she it wasn't just a case of, well, they want a rescue dog and here's a dog that needs rescuing and we'll put them together. She really took that time to understand who we were, what our life was like, and taking that time to match the dogs to match our lifestyle. And yeah, and I really appreciated that.
I think that's exactly how I felt, Nikki. I mean, it really is. And mine started with an application form and then a phone call, and I just felt it was the right thing. We'd always had golden retrievers, my husband and and I just felt it was time for a rescue. I wanted to do something really positive, I think, and positive for me, but positive for a dog as well.
Yeah.
And I feel really lucky to have found Happy Paws. Really lucky. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It's such a lovely
No, not at
story.
all. Thank
And it's
you.
so wonderful to know that they are so happy together. I think that's just so lovely, considering they didn't know each other at all. That's just amazing. So, if you would like to help us rescue more dogs, carry on our projects, and make sure that we can go on into the future, we'd be so grateful that if you would click on the link below to our Just Giving page, and give a donation, no matter how small, to our 10th anniversary legacy appeal. It's so important so that we can get more dogs to live happy lives with not just Nikki, but hundreds of families around the UK. And I will also make sure that the link is there for that, and also all of our other social media pages, Facebook, Instagram. I just opened a TikTok account for Happy Paws, which I really have no clue how to do, but I will make sure that everything is in the box below. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Sam. And hopefully we'll see everybody next Sunday. Thanks for watching.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.